Hey y'all, today I am going to be ranking all the player abilities from worst to best. I have all of the abilities, so I can rank these all from experience. Anyways, let's start.
I think we have a Russian in our team. Hello?
At last place is Team Energy Boost and Team Magnifying Glass. I grouped these together because they're basically the same. Let's talk about Team Energy Boost first. It costs 10 energy, and once you use it, it gives everyone 2 extra energy. Oh, what's that? You're a part of the team too? Well, too bad, so sad. You don't get anything from doing this. It makes sense, but they could have made your energy bar go up faster. But it doesn't. So this ability is pointless on a solo run, or if everyone in the server is noobs. Now, Team Magnifying Glass is slightly different. Instead of giving everyone energy, it lets everyone see all the items in the map. Remember, the game thinks you aren't a part of the team, so you see nothing. This one, they should have let you see the items too. The only reason why this one is higher than Energy Boost is because it's more useful. Anyways, on to the next one.
Where's the key?
Next up is the Magnifying Glass ability. What a coincidence. Team Magnifying Glass and Magnifying Glass are right next to each other. Anyways, the Magnifying Glass ability does everything the Team Magnifying Glass does, but only for yourself. This ability is actually pretty useful if you're new and you haven't beaten any maps yet. But since I know all of the Book 1 maps and I never play Book 2, I don't really ever need this ability. Another thing to mention is how in every Book 1 map, and in Book 2 maps below Chapter 5, it will still show items that have already been used. This isn't too much of a problem for me, but for new players, they could be running around in-house with the red key when blue is already open. Other than that, though, it's a good ability, but I don't ever need it.
Thank you for saving me. I was so thirsty.
Next up is the Invest ability. Unlike the Team Magnifying Glass and Magnifying Glass ability, this one was not made in 2021. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because Magnifying Glass has a Team Magnifying Glass version, but Team Energy Boost never had an energy boost. Until now. Invest is basically Team Energy Boost for yourself. When you use it, you gain energy a bit faster. This makes the abilities that cost 8 or more energy really useful, since it takes less time to afford them. But this ability still isn't that great to me. And let's move on to the next one.
Think fast, Chuckle Nuts!
At number 10, we got the Flare ability. This is that ability you see on Tussie Games videos, and he describes it as really OP, but in reality, it doesn't actually do much. As you can see, from the screen of my alt account, you can still see everything clearly, and it still shows usernames. This ability is only good for really, really dark maps, but overall, I just wouldn't use this ability much. Anyways, on to the next one.
I see you.
Now we have the Radar ability. What this ability does is it places down a satellite dish that tracks the infected down when they go near it. Now, this ability is pretty useful and pretty cool, but this ability depends on the map and the placement of the satellite dish. For example, near the stairs that lead up to the second floor and house would be pretty good, but if you're playing on Carnival, then you can always see the piggy anyway. So, this ability is good, but it can be useless on a lot of maps. Plus, there's a way better version, which I am going to talk about later. Anyways, on to the next one.
Steady. Steady.
At number 8 is the Crafty ability. This ability was only available during the 2024 Paranormal Pigmas season event. And basically what this ability does is it places a wall behind you for 5 seconds. So short that Piggy can't get through, but tall enough to crouch through. Now, that sounds really great and OP, right? Yes, you're right. But 10 energy? That's not really worth it, to be honest. I mean, 10 energy for 5 seconds of stopping the piggy. And don't forget, if you place it slightly at the wrong angle, then you just wasted 10 energy. Maybe if it was 8 or 9 energy, I would like it more. Overall, good ability but too expensive. Anyways, on to the next one.
Where are you?
Next up is the camouflage ability. Or some people call this invisibility, but I call it camouflage. What this ability does is it lowers the opacity of your whole avatar, but when you move, you become easier to see. Anyways, you don't become completely invisible, but in certain cases, you can be hard to see. Speaking of hard to see, bots won't see you if you use this ability, but players can be more smart. Anyways, it also removes your name tag until the ability wears off. Also, it makes it so you can't interact with doors. This ability is more good for those players who love bot mode or love hiding from the piggy. But the reason why this ability is so low is because it is so annoying to not be able to open doors. Countless times I have used this ability and I had to wait for the ability to wear off just to open the door. Anyways, on to the next one.
Stop hiring your stupid clanker to do the work for you, bro.
At number 6 is the disarm ability. What this ability does is it spawns a robot that will locate the nearest trap and will destroy it, not including teleportation traps. And this ability is really good, but the problem is, this trap used to cost 7 energy, and they could coast across half of the map and Piggy could do nothing but watch their trap disappear. But now, they cost 10 energy, and if it is on a mission to travel across the whole map to destroy one small trap, Piggies can touch the clanker to destroy it. So basically, the nerf turned it into an expensive decoy. Also, if you are near a black hole trap when the clanker destroys it, you will still be pulled towards where the black hole was, no matter how far away in the map. I've actually once died because of that. So it is a good ability, but there's just no good reason for me to use it. Anyways, on to the last 5. At 5th place is the warp ability. Do you know the teleportation traps from 2020? Well, in 2024, during the Paranormal Pigmas event, as part of the Mr. P plush champagne, at 400 sales, we got the warp ability. You can still get it today, I believe. But that's besides the point. Basically, this ability is the player version of the teleportation traps. This costs 9 energy to use, but realistically costs 18 energy since you need to place 2 of them. And I actually think this ability can be really useful against campers, or just in general. For example, if you place a warp trap next to Bunny, then 9 energy later, you're stuck in a room with Piggy, and you have a carrot for Bunny, you can place a warp trap and go to Bunny. Or if you need to lose Piggy, you can place a warp trap somewhere, and then you go far away from there, and you place one there, then you go through it while Piggy's chasing you. The only problem is that this ability is way more expensive than teleport traps. Teleport traps are 10 energy, and warp traps are 18 energy. I mean, I understand because there are way more sticky situations as a player than a Piggy, but why 9 energy? Why not like 1 or 2 energy more than the Piggy's version? If they do end up listening and do that, I might just use it as my top 3. But anyways, on to the next one.
I know where you're hiding.
At 4th place is the scanner ability. Now, what this ability does is it highlights where all the infected are. This is really useful in so many situations. If you're about to go through a door, but the Piggy is right there, or if you're in the orange room in house, but you have no idea where the Piggy is, you could use the ability to realize the Piggy is in the kitchen. But it's even better on infection. For example, when there's a lot of Piggies, you can easily clear a path for yourself without getting caught. There's just so many great ways to use this ability, and it's cheap too. It only costs 4 energy. But anyways, let's move on to the next one.
Run.
At 3rd place is the sprint ability. This ability is exactly what it sounds like. It lets you sprint for 3 seconds. This one may not sound that good. I mean, it's literally the default ability. But trust me, it's really good. First of all, it's really good for juking the Piggy, giving the Piggy less time to react, and making it way easier for you to juke them. Second of all, it can counter the snowman trap. I know not as many people use the snowman trap since it was limited, but when they do, sprint will come in clutch. Just make sure to start sprinting after you get hit, not before or otherwise, you will still be slowed down. And third of all, Sprint can do a very cool glitch, where if you sprint while crouching, you will crouch fast. Then once you go back to normal, you won't be at the regular slow crouching speed. You will move at the normal walking speed. This can be very OP, because then you can go through vents faster, and it looks kinda cool too. Anyways, on to last two.
Knock, knock. Who is there? A mirror. I am lonely.
At number 2, we have the decoy ability. This ability is just so good, great, excellent, unbelievable. Basically, what this ability does is it places a clone of yourself that piggies can kill. Bots will go for the decoy, but players can be more smart. Except if you place it correctly, the clone can go straight into the piggy's face. Also, decoys can counter every trap except snowman traps and teleportation traps. It's basically a better version of the disarm trap since it can counter traps and is less expensive since decoys are 8 energy. Honestly, I think my only complaint for this ability and the next one coming up is how they are way too OP. It makes being a piggy way harder since they can counter basically all that the piggies got. Anyways, on to the last one. And the best player ability in all of Piggy is immunity. Have you ever barely died to the piggy while trying to juke them and said, "I wish when you touched the piggy you didn't die"? Well, now with this ability, that can become the truth. Well, for 2 seconds. Basically, it creates a shield around you that will prevent you from dying for 2 seconds. If you're in a trap and Piggy's about to kill you, just use immunity and you're free to go. Or if a camper is camping at the door, you wait for 10 energy and then go. If you counted all the times I won a round because of immunity, you'd be there for years. Just everything about this ability is good. Wait a second. Huh? What do you mean you can hit traps with a shield on? Yep, even with immunity on, you can hit traps. Which I would say is a bad thing, but honestly, it's really a good thing because otherwise it would be impossible to get people. It kinda balances the ability. So many times a survivor used immunity, I have placed a black hole or some other trap and gotten them. If I was only ranking these from the survivor's point of view, decoy would be at number 1. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Stay tuned for the next video. Bye.